and I just stopped and I kissed him. So like, I made the first move. Ooh, go me. Hello, everyone. It is me, C West, and welcome back to my channel. It is currently 9:26 p.m. and that's why I look absolutely dead, but it's okay. I gotta plug this up. Anyway. Oh, sorry. So, I'm exhausted. I've had a really long couple of days. My life is actually more hectic than it may seem sometimes. I look a hot mess, but that's okay. Today's video, I'm actually going to talk about how my husband and I met 4 years ago. It's a really juicy story. So, you know, we met in November of 2015. And, crazy story on how I met him. I love him so much. So, we had a mutual friend who I actually dated before I met my current husband, Jonathan. We dated for about 2 weeks, and he broke up with me over something probably really stupid. I don't even remember why he did it, but, you know, he did. And so while we were dating, actually, within those 2 weeks, we hung out a couple of times. And at this point, I was working in Grapevine at the Grapevine Mills Mall. And his name was Troy. And he actually asked Jonathan, which was a good friend of him at the time, good friend of his at the time, to bring him to see me. So he did, being the nice friend that he is. And then, mind you, I'm a major metalhead who loves, you know, rock music, metal music, and horror movies, and, you know, just crazy, creepy stuff. So, not knowing who Jonathan was, did not know that he was also that kind of person at that time. And, so he brought Troy to come see me before I had to go to work. You know, we hung out at the mall while we were there, before I had to go clock in. Well, I went to go check the schedule. Well, actually, scratch that. I saw Troy, you know, and I was like,
okay, well, where's your friend? You know, I thought he was coming with you.
And he was like,
oh, well, he is. He's, you know, coming up behind me.
At first, I had never seen Jonathan. I had never met Jonathan, so I didn't know who he was. So there was actually this black guy that was walking behind Troy when he came into the entrance, and I was like, is that him? And he just walked past me, and I was like,
where are you going? Like, you know?
And he was like,
no, babe, that's not him.
and I was like,
oh, who is he?
and he was like, and I was like,
oh, okay. Totally different.
and this black guy, he was dressed in like jeans and cowboy boots and stuff. You know, he kind of like matched the persona of a friendship that Troy might have had. So I thought that's who he was. And turns out it was not. So funny thing, Jonathan actually walks in, and he walks right past us also. And I was like,
is that him? Like, is that not him?
And he was
like, yeah, that's him. He was like, hey, where are you going?
And he just turned back and looked, and he goes, I don't know. He was just trying to put on like this persona, I guess. And so, that was actually when we met. And then when I was about to go to work, I went to go check the schedule to see what time I actually went in, because I had been there for a few hours beforehand, just walking around. And one of the managers was like,
Okay, we're actually really overstaffed today, and we're not super busy, so you can just take the day off.
and I was like,
Are you sure? Like, I'm already here, I'm dressed and ready to go to work, and
you know, mind you, I was working at Zoomies, so like, a dress casual. And she was like,
yeah, no, it's fine. Like, I'm about to send another person home because we just don't need that many people on clock.
and I was like,
Okay, that's fine.
so they were like,
Oh, do you want to go to Arlington?
and I was like,
Well, I live in Grapevine, and Arlington's really, really far.
so, but they wanted to go ice skating, so I was like,
Sure, you know, let's make a day of it. Let's go ice skating.
well, when we leave, I was, running out to the car, not running out to the car, but we were just walking out to the car, and I was like,
Oh, shotgun.
and they were like,
Okay.
and Troy kind of like was like, what?
Wait, why do you get to sit in the front?
I was like,
One, because I'm the female, and I want to sit in the front. And two, I only said that because I want to sit next to Jonathan and talk to him.
me being the very bad person that I was, I did not cheat on Troy. But being, I did have kind of like an attraction towards Jonathan because he was my type. He was that style that I was into or am into, and you know, I just kind of like thought he was really attractive. And so we get all the way to Arlington, and Troy's friend Bryson comes. Brayson? His friend Brayson comes to the mall to skate with us or whatever, and you know, they actually went to go get food. So Troy worked at Brahms at the time, and he, you know, got like free food or whatever. So him and Brayson actually leave, and they were like,
Do you want to go?
oh, I was like,
No, I just kind of want to stay here. I don't feel like leaving. And I was like, well, all of y'all can go, and I'll just wait till y'all get back, whatever.
and so just, they were all ice skating, and so Jonathan stayed there with me, so I wasn't alone. So sweet of him. And then Troy and Brayson leave to go to Brahms. Well, lo and behold, we did not know that they had to go all the way to Grand Prairie from Arlington. Like, it's really not that far, but if you know Grand Prairie, Arlington, like, traffic, like, it took a long time for them to get back with food. And by the time our food was already, like mild cold. Anyway, so he was like,
Alright, we'll be back, you know, we're gonna get food.
it take forever. Jonathan gets off the ice and he tries to get me to go skating. Well, at this point, I'd never been ice skating before, so I really didn't want to go. But I was like,
No, it's fine, but I mean, I'll go walk around.
and he was like,
Sure, yeah, I'll go walk around with you, whatever.
well, we just go walking around just to, I guess, pass time by until they get back with food. And then we go to Zoomies, and me being the little flirt that I am, I flirted with him so hard. I don't know. And I should have just broken up with Troy, because I really don't know why I even got with Troy. I don't know why we were together. We didn't have much of a connection, like, at all, you know? And so we go to Zoomies, and John tries on a pair of shades, pair of aviators, and he looks at me, he goes,
How did I look? And he was like, he's looking on me.
and I was like,
Oh yeah, they do.
and I kind of like, you know, rubbed his back or like touched his back, and I walked away. And he just kind of like, was like, okay. And then he just kind of like put it back or whatever. And then we were walking around like some more. We went to Spencer's, and he wanted this necklace and he wanted to try it on. Well, him being the flirt that he is, the little flirt that he like played like he couldn't put it around himself, which actually he has no nails, so yeah, he couldn't get the clip thing to go around, so I totally get it. So he asked me if I could help him out and put it on for him. I was like,
Sure, yeah, I can do that, whatever.
so like, I don't know why I didn't have him turn around and let me put it over him and clip it in front of my face, he stood like this in front of me, and I reached around his neck with my arms over his neck like this, face to face, and I clip it on, and we stand there for at least like 5 to 10 seconds, and he almost kissed me. He said that he wanted to kiss me, but he didn't. So and I was like,
Okay, there you go. It's on.
and we walked out. We were looking at all these cool stuff at Spencer's, and we were just being really flirty with each other, and I was like, okay, whatever. So he had to go back home after they got back with food. We ate. They went skating a little bit. Well, he had to go home. So I was like,
I'll just go home with Troy.
well, Troy ended up going home with Brayson, so that means that I went home with Brayson, and it was me, Troy, Brayson, and his girlfriend at the time. And then we stayed up like half the night at the hospital because we had to go pick her up, and she picked us up, and then she had to go to the hospital because she wasn't feeling good or something, like with her pregnancy or something like that. I don't really remember, but anyway, so we went back to their apartment, who they were roommating with a couple of other people. So it's just kind of like all of us together, and we just like played video games and talked and watched movies or whatever. Well, we stayed the night. The next day, my uncle, Bubba Mike, my dad's best friend, just like an uncle, picked me up from wherever I was, and he went with me to go get my first tattoo. Well, later that night, after we left the Parks Mall, little did I know, which I didn't actually know, because the phone I had at the time, it didn't notify me when people messaged me on Instagram for some reason, and it didn't even give me an option to look at my DMs on Instagram. So I was like, okay, I guess he's not going to try to talk to me, whatever. Which I was a Troy anyway, so I didn't really care at that time, but I thought he was cute. So lo and behold, he messaged me that same night and was like,
Sup?
and so this was all before Thanksgiving also. I was like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. I go home that night after getting the tattoo. I was talking to Troy all day. Oh, and so when I got home, I had, no idea he was trying to talk to me or whatever. Well, a couple days after that went by, Troy actually broke up with me. Okay. Over text. He broke up with me over text. He was like doing all the cliches. He was actually with his grandma at the time, and he was like, hey,
I gotta go text my grandma real quick, I'll be right back.
well, his grandma knew that he was on the phone. She didn't know who. I'd never met her before, but so he went upstairs. This is after we broke up. We were talking on the phone or whatever, and she was like,
Did you leave somebody on the phone? Like, did you leave her on Skype by herself?
then he was like, yeah. So she was like,
What kind of man are you?
and he was like,
Oh, well, the kind that dumped her 4 days ago?
excuse me? What? Why would you tell your grandma that, for one? Like, why would you say it like that? And so, I had gotten a new phone like a couple days after. And so I logged into Instagram or whatever, and saw that he had actually Jonathan had actually messaged me. And so I or no, I found him on Instagram. Because I didn't get a new phone, but I found him on Instagram through Troy's thing. And I commented on one of his pictures, and I was like,
Hey, do you have Kik?
this is back when like Kik was like still a thing. And social media runs our lives, I swear. So I like got pissed off, and I like hung up the phone with Troy. And so I commented on Jonathan's picture, and I was like, hey, do you have Kik? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, message me. And I gave him my Kik. And he was like, what's up? And I was like,
You need to talk to Troy. You need to talk to your friend because he broke up with me.
and he was like, what? And I was like,
Yeah, he broke up with me a couple days ago, and he just told his grandma this or whatever and how he said it, you know.
and Jonathan, he actually liked me at this time as well. And so he thought like, okay, well, this is a good opportunity. They're broken up. I can make my move, even though, you know, it's kind of like a bro code thing, I guess. But Troy had hurt me, you know, and I don't know why he did what he did. But I mean, I shouldn't have been hurt over 2 weeks. Like, really, come on, girl, get over it. But I was pissed off. And I was like,
Yeah, you need to message him and like you need to see what's going on with him and why he would say that to his grandma and like all this blah blah blah.
tell me why this boy tried to tell me that he was registered EMT and he was going to school to be a firefighter, and he could like ride on the fire trucks whenever he wanted to, and blah blah blah. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Like, I just agreed with it just to make him happy, because like I know about that field, and I know that that's not true. Yeah, he was going to school, but anyway. So Jonathan was like,
Dude, I knew you were gonna do this to her. Like, I knew you were gonna hurt her. It's only been like 2 weeks, and you're already breaking up with her. And he was like, I had a feeling that was, you know, that was gonna happen and whatnot, and you know, all this other stuff.
he was, Jonathan was telling him, he was like,
You know, I'm talking to her, and I actually like her. You're not gonna try to screw this up.
and Troy was kind of like trying to bow up to Jonathan and be like,
Oh, I can get her anytime that I want to, and you know, don't test me.
and Jonathan was like,
Or what? Like, what are you gonna do?
like, and this didn't like ruin their friendship, but you know, they stopped talking for a while, and you know, they become friends after that. And I was civil with Troy, and you know, we were all just kind of like around. And Jonathan was like, or what? You know, and I can't remember exactly what he said to him, but Troy asked me, he was like,
Do you want to get back with me?
and I was already talking to Jonathan for like a day or so after this, and I was like,
No. I like Jonathan. And I have a feeling that he's gonna treat me really well. He's gonna treat me very good, and he, you know, he's really sweet to me and he's nice.
so, you know, whatever. So a couple days after that, it was Thanksgiving. Me and John weren't dating yet, but we were talking really serious. And it was like maybe a week after we actually started like becoming friends that we started like talking on a serious note. Well, it was the day, it was Thanksgiving, you know, I was like,
Man, I really wish you were here. You know, we had a lot of food.
whatever. He's like,
Well, I can come get you.
I was like,
Okay, that's fine.
so the first time I met his parents was actually Thanksgiving Day, 2015. You know, they really accepted me, and they liked me no matter like the, you know, tattoos, the attitude, which I was very sweet to them, and I still am to this day. I absolutely love them. Love his family. They've accepted me as their own, and that's great. Anyway, so he takes me home that night. You know, we stay out till super late, And the next day he was like,
hey, do you want to, hang out?
and I was like,
Yeah, sure. Like, I have work until, like, I don't know, like 6, 7 maybe, whatever. So it was, like, late in the evening.
and he
I
was
was like, it's okay, I'll come pick you up from work and we'll just like hang out.
I was like, okay, that's fine. So as soon as I got off work, I go out towards the door, and here he comes passing by the door, just kind of like nonchalantly like waiting, and he sees me, and I just run out and hug him. And this is like our first official like date. And no, I didn't meet his parents on Thanksgiving Day. It was Christmas Day. Anyway, getting my story mixed up. So this is the first time I actually like hung out with him in person. So I ran and gave him a hug or whatever. And he was like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, I don't know, but like we can, walk around. And he was like, no, it's fine. And I was like, well, we can go, hang out at my house, whatever. So we go get in the car, and he was like, I don't really, we didn't really want to go to my house. And my mom was like, well, what time do you get off? I was like, well, I'm going to hang out with Jonathan. I'm over the age of 18. I was still in high school when I started talking to him. He was basically my high school sweetheart. He graduated a few years before I did. But I was still in high school when I started talking to him. But I was 18. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to hang out with Jonathan tonight. And they're like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I don't really know. But we'll figure it out. And I was like, okay, just, you have your key whenever you get home, whatever. And so he was talking, and I was looking at him, and I just stopped and I kissed him. So like, I made the first move. Ooh, go me. I kissed him, and then I still get all blushy when I like talk about him, or when I think of like the first time that we hung out, or our first date. Like, I get so blushy. Anyway, so we hang out or whatever, and then we get in the very back seat, and we're like making out and stuff or whatever. And we're just talking, and then we start making out or whatever. And then we were looking at things to do, and he was like, oh, hey, there's a Dallas Stars game tonight. I was like, okay, we'll go. I paid $100 for the two of us. Not bad, whatever. We got beer and food and tickets. That was just our first date. And it was very cold that night, like really cold. It was like late November, and it was really cold. And he gave me his jacket to put on because I was cold. Now he likes the cold, and at that time I couldn't like stand the cold, but now I'm like used to it. I'm just like, it's too hot. So gave me his jacket, and in the parking lot we did some stuff. We had fun while we did some stuff. But we did some stuff. That was our first date. We did it on the first date. And then after that, like, we thought it was gonna get like super awkward between us because, stuff like that doesn't usually happen. Well, we were hungry, so we left and we went to Whataburger. Well, it was pouring rain. So he dropped a Whataburger on the way home, like Dallas, Arlington, wherever we were. And he had his jacket, and he gave me his beanie because I was freezing and it was raining, it was cold. So he just had his t-shirt and his beanie on because he had two. No, he gave me his beanie, and I actually kept both of them. I still have that beanie and that jacket to this day. So we go to Whataburger, we're eating, and then he asked me if I could drive home, and I was like, yeah, sure. Well, as soon as we leave, I start feeling really sick, and I was like, okay, I can't do this. I'm tired. I feel nauseated. Like, you're gonna have to, you're gonna have to drive. He goes, okay, that's fine. So we switched seats, and I get out, and I start puking. Like, right in front of this boy. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. Like, I'm sorry. So, like, of course, I had, like, gum and everything, and washed my mouth out with water and stuff like that. So, I was like, it's fine, let me just get you home or whatever. Well, we roll up to the house all the way in Louisville, because I had moved from, I worked in Grapevine. I lived in Louisville. And I went to Grapevine High School as well, so, just in that area. And so he drove me all the way home, and he parked the car, and we start making it again. And then we were talking, and he was okay. I was like, I've got to go. It's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. And his parents knew that he was out, but he didn't want to, overstep any boundaries and come back at like 8 a.m., But it was like 3 or 4 a.m. And I was like, I really don't want you to leave. And he was like, I know, but I have to. I was like, okay, well, I was like, so what are we? Are we like together? And he was like, well, what do you want? I was like, well, I want to be. And he, being the little, I know he was a cheesehead, Packers joke, but like, being the little cheese ball that he is, he plays My Guardian Angel by Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. He played it, and he was like, well, does this tell you something? And then he like played that song, and he kissed me. And then that was the night we started dating, was our first date, like a week after we started talking. And then I met his parents Christmas Day, or not Christmas Day, but like it was like the day or 2 days after Christmas. And so we've actually been together ever since then. We have had our good times. I mean, we have good times, and we have had our bad times, like really bad times. But I love that man more than ever. I will always love him. 2016 was a really good year for us. He actually, after I graduated, he lived with me for a few months. Lived with me and my mom and her boyfriend at the time. And it was okay. It ended awful. It ended absolutely horrible. That's a story for another day. But he moved back, and then I moved out of my mom's and moved back to my dad as well. Later in 2017, early 2017, I started cosmetology school, and I went to cosmetology school for like a year. And then I went out on 2017, yeah. And then Jonathan and I actually broke up. For like a month. It didn't last long. I was with somebody else during that time. Jonathan absolutely hated me for good reason, because I broke his heart. But we made amends, and then we ended up getting back together after me and that ex broke up. And we got our lives back together. Well, that same year, October 2017, he became a truck driver earlier that year, and he wanted to get married before he left again later in October. So we actually got married in October, like not even a month after he asked me to marry him. He proposed to me on my birthday, July 27th of 2017. And he wanted to marry me before he left again. July, August, September. So we were engaged for about 3 months. I mean, he told me he wanted to get married before he left. out on the road again since he was in OTR. And so October 26th of 2017 is when we got married. And then later that year, I had dropped school because I was way too busy. I had to go to school and I had to work. And some people can do it, and some people just can't, do both of those. And I couldn't, pay my own expenses, work. The commute for my work was awful until I switched jobs, and then having to go to school, getting out super late and having to do it all over again every single day. It was crazy. So I went out on the road with him from January 1st till the end of February, beginning of March of 2018. We were already married by then. I come back, I was on the road with him, and I started having some medical issues. My stomach wasn't sitting right with me. I was waking up in the middle of the night, having to go to the bathroom. I couldn't hold myself. I thought there was something legitimately wrong, and I was having mood swings, and I was constantly, bleeding, and we didn't know what was going on. So I was like, I have to go home. I'm getting sick. I've got to, get off the truck. Plus, we were on the truck with each other for 2 months straight. Lo and behold, we wanted to, rip each other's heads off. Thank God we didn't. But we just very quickly got tired of, always constantly being around each other. So I come home, and I'm still not feeling good after everything's kind of, settled itself. I think it was just stress, or I thought it was just stress. Came home, still wasn't feeling good. His sister asked me, he was like, hey, is your stomach still hurting? And I was like, yeah, I'm cramping, but, I haven't had my period, and, all the stuff is going on. And we scheduled an appointment to go to the doctor, and come to find out, I was 7 weeks pregnant with our daughter. And we were scared to death because at this point we were living on the road, and we had no place of our own. We were staying with his parents in Cleveland, so I moved from my dad's house in Mesquite to Cleveland, which is like an hour away from everybody that I knew, all my friends and family. So his mom took me in as her own, and she helps me throughout everything, throughout the whole pregnancy. And his sister was there for me, and his dad has always been amazing. So I'm pregnant. I told Jonathan, and I'm bawling my eyes out because I haven't told his parents yet. After I took a couple of at-home tests, I found out I was pregnant, and then he was like, it's gonna be okay. I had a feeling that you were pregnant, but I didn't want to say anything. And I was like, well, why didn't you? I could have taken a test earlier, but it's fine. So my pregnancy with our daughter Kylie was actually really it was crazy, but it was fun, beautiful. Like the first few months were awful. The first trimester, she made morning sickness horrible, but definitely worth it. So 9 months later, I had our daughter. That was after a year of us being married. Here we are now, September 18th of 2019, and my daughter is 10 months old. And and she's about to be a year, and we're about to go in our 2 years of marriage. And yeah, so that's how we met, and that's how we got together, and that's how we fell in love and got married and had a kid, and now we have an amazing life together. You know, he's got a good career, and I'm actually starting a new good career. And our daughter is absolutely perfect. But that is the end of my tea for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, and hit that subscribe button down below. It is now 10:03 at night, and I have work in the morning, so I already look dead. I don't want to be worse off, and I still have to go take a shower. But see you later. Bye.